What's up, dudes? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we are theorizing a country called Bulgaria. You already know the drill. Let's dissect the flag. The Bulgarian flag makes a lot of symbols. The white represents a peace and prosperity of the land of Bulgaria, and the green represents grass or land, of course. And then the red represents they fought in both wars, and both Bulgaria fought in World War I and World War II on Germany's sides. And the coat of arms of Bulgaria has a crown and some stuff, meaning it used to be a monarchy, it is a monarchy. And there's the flags in the bottom, and it says this language, I don't know how to speak Bulgarian itself. However, the country is located in the Balkans bordering Turkey, Greece, Macedonia, Serbia, and Romania. And it's a member of the EU, or the European Union. And then the Golden Run National History Museum, and then it's got the first meeting the disciplines of St. Charles and Russians. And the walls of the fortress in the Second Empire, and then the Battle of Nicholas in Neapolis in 1396 marked the end of medieval Bulgarian statehood, and the Russo-Bulgarian War defense in 1877, and then the territory in 1878 had a little bit of Macedonia and Turkey and Greece. And then Tsar Boris III, and then joined Communist Party from 1946 to 1949. Today, it is a democracy, with its capital and largest city, Sofia, but there's other cities called Dobres, Brunn, Voltron, Sunrund, Rumbles, and that's it. And then the Brunn mountain range, has beautiful mountains stuff. History, and the president runs it, and the prime minister, Stefan Yevs, is the prime minister of Bulgaria. And administrative decisions, one exception, the capital. And then Sofia is the capital, and Plovdiv is Vilna, Vodovec, and then jet fighters, and a lot of stuff, including economy, spaceships, highways, and population trends since 1960, and then the population of Bulgaria, and then a lot more to see in this beautiful country, Bulgaria. However, the capital and largest city is Sofia, and their official language is Bulgarian, and their official script is Serbian, and their ethnic group is mostly Bulgarians, the others are Turks, Roma, and the others, and their religion is Christianity. The others are Bulgarian Orthodox, the other Christian, no religion, Islam, and other religions. And their development is Bulgarian, and the president, right there I showed you, since 2017, and the prime minister, right, and the vice president, right there, since 2017 also, and the prime minister since recent of 2021. That's very recent. And however, the first Bulgarian Empire started between 681 and 1018, and the second Bulgarian Empire started around 1185 to 1396, and Princely Bulgaria in 1876, and then declared independence in 1908, and then current state form in 1990. And their area is about 110,993.6 kilometers, or 42,854.9 square miles, making it 103rd in this list, and the water is 2.16%. And their population in June is 6,875,040, making it 106. And their population density is 63 kilometers, or 163.2 square miles, making it 120th. And their GDP, right there, all of those P's, and then there's total is 174.998 billion, making it 73rd, and their per capita is 25,471, making it 55th, and their GP nominal is in total $77.782 billion, making it 68th in this list, and their per capita is 11,321, making it 61st on this list, and their GNI is 40 medium, and their HGI is 0.816, making it very high in this list, and 56. And their currency is lev, or Bulgarian currency, and their time zone is the same as the Baltics, and their driving zone is right, and their, speaking of right, let's read the presidential election of 1880. This was messed up, but there's some disputes in this election, but let's see what comes up next. Yep, let's see what's next. The 24th presidential election in American history took place on November 2nd, 1880. Back in 1876, while running for president, Rutherford B. Hayes promised he would not seek a second term. Rutherford actually stayed true in his word. In 1880, he was leaving that job open for someone else. But who else? Well, the Republicans had a hard time figuring out who would take his place. Republicans met in June, what to become the longest Republican National Convention in history. Two major factions within the Republican Party. The decision for the nominee is a difficult one. One faction is the Sliders, trying to revolt around the U.S. Senator from New York named Russ's Crowing. They generally favored a thing called Trinitarians phonologist, also known as Floyd's system, which basically said that you would lure people from getting elected. The other faction was the half-breeds. They were named because their opponent, and then it's called them only half Republicans, revolted around the U.S. Senator from Maine, James Blaine. Yep, Blaine from Maine. The half-breeds generally did not like the passage in saying to be appointed, and when political favors their opponents. There was pretty much one big dividing surprising. After closing against the 1876 Ulysses Grant shocked several people when he decided to run for a third term. Many Republicans were all for it. Opponents, the unfortunate James Blaine, John Sherman, brother in the Civil War General William Tecumseh Sherman, and former U.S. Senator from Ohio, James Garfield. What? From Ohio. It took a long time for Republicans ultimately nominated neither Sarlant and Freedom got nominated, and then James Garfield got nominated for president. Senators weren't so popular with Garfield, so Chester Arthur, the Sarlant and Sherman from New York Republican Party, was nominated as his running mate. Under the shadow, Samuel Tilden's defeat 4 years earlier. The Democrats hold their convention soon after. The two leading candidates were Major Generals Winfield Scott Hancock from Pennsylvania and Thomas Bradley, a former U.S. Senator from Delaware. The Democrats finally had their war hero, Hancock, served in most of his life in the Army. He was a Civil War veteran. And the dude even fought the Mexican-American War, for crying out loud. So yeah, Bradley didn't stand a chance. Hancock won the nomination, with William Hayden, English businessman, the former U.S. representative from Indiana, as his running mate. What? That's my name? William Hayden. Man, many people recognize my name as Hayden. But William Hayden won the nomination. Yep, he was my same name. What was fascinating about me in this election, this presidential candidates didn't seem to disagree a whole lot of, although you wouldn't know in the favorite time. For example, a hot button issue in the following weeks before the election day was Chinese immigration. In reality, Republicans and Democrats and Greenbackers all wanted to limit Chinese immigration. They all agreed. So what's the issue? And here are the results. Boy, this was a squeaker. It was extremely close with a popular vote and the electoral college. Not so much. Garfield won, becoming the 12th president in American history. He received 214 electoral votes. Winfield Hancock received 155 electoral votes. But then would be 7. Deceiving. Fewer than 2,000 votes separated Hancock and Garfield, making the election the smallest popular vote victory ever recorded. Looking at the electoral map pattern, look at this! Look at that! That is completely messed up. But James Garfield won anyway. Yep, Hancock dominated the South and Garfield the North. James Weaver finished in third, not receiving any electoral votes, but receiving a solid 3% of popular vote. Chester Arthur became the 12th vice president in American 20th vice president in American history. James Garfield was in office only 200 days, 2.5 months, and in bed dying on July 2nd, 1881. He was shot, literally insane dude who was upset that Garfield didn't give him the job. Garfield was the second president assassinated in American history. 78% of the population voted in this election. What I think was wrong, was complicated, and it was kind of messed up. But Winfield Scott Hancock dominated the South and Garfield the North. And 2 months later, he got inaugurated, and he got assassinated. The curse is on. William Henry Harrison and Tecumseh, or the Tecumseh Curse, where presidents got elected and 0 die. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Hope you have an amazing day, a great day, and I'll see you next week.